So welcome back again. So as previously we have learned about the LWC basic parts. So how can we what is meant by LWC and what are the differences between the LWC and Aura components. And right now we are going to learn about what the roles are playing of what the role is playing by XML file and what the role is playing by JS file and what the type of role is playing by HTML files in the LWC components, how they are involving to display the concept and to giving the colors and different types of screening for these things. So we will discuss in this session, in this video. So okay, so coming to first of all, we will go through the role of XML in LWC. So it's called as like js-meta.xml. So in LWC, the XML file is essential because so it defines the metadata to configure for the component. Means to configure the data, the metadata of the component. So it tells simply Salesforce how the component can be used, how it should be showed, or where we have to be shown in this one. So like we have some record pages, app pages, and home pages, and everything. We have a kind of pages wherever we want. We can make the true by using the true option. It will be enable. So for that we can see at the pages. If we won't enable everything, and if we won't enable true, even though we are giving the uh, true at the pages where we want, but it won't be visible. So to display the purpose we are using this. So when coming to some key elements with the just meta file, it's like by using API versions. So it's purpose the sales API version, and there is a best example for API version like API version 59.0, I think so. This is the one kind of version, and is exposed. Is exposed is also one of the key tag, so which defines the whether the component is available for use or not. Means it should be true or false kind of. And another one is target. So target means defines where the component can be used, or in the record pages or app pages or home pages and etc. So and there is one more target configuration. So here which allows additional configuration like exposing properties for customization in the UI where we are using like that. So when coming to some components, some targets, lightning page which will be available on lightning app builder page, lightning record page which will be available on record page, and lightning home page available on home page, and utility bars also you can be seen the utility bar, and you can see on the flow screen also. And you can go through the community page, so which can be used in the community page. So how it will be like, first of all, target configuration, and target configuration target where we have to see lightning record page, so you can give that XML page and everything. So this is about the XML page where the role, how it play the role in the LWC components. When coming to JS, it's the main script to develop the LWC component, because it controls where the component can be used, in which space it can be used. It will be defined by this one also and by the XML file also. So we can also enable the customization using the properties like dynamic input form and admins. So we can enable the user teas also, and also we can determine the component visibility in lightning app builder also. So we can give an example with dynamic properties and apex calls through also. So when coming to JS file, so JS file, it's I already said that it's important, and it controls the components logic, statement, engagement, and event handling also. So like coming to JS, it's a component behavior, and it handles the data processing. It can handle the events also, which can communicate with the apex and other components also. So JS is the main script where we can communicate with the other components. So I've already previously said how can we import the JS file by using import, and here we can add some decorators. In the next topic we can learn about the decorators. So here we go with some keywords like import lightning element from LWC, which imports the base LWC class to create a component, and export default class name, so which defines the LWC component class, and extend lightning element, and at the rate track, it's in a decorator, at the rate API, it's also decorator, at the rate wire. And we know that the connected callback and handling change event, these are all examples of handlers for input changes. So what happens When the user types in the input field, the handle change function update the messages and the UI automatically reflect the change using the JS files. So when coming to the lifecycle hooks in JS, like we have a constructor. So constructor means runs first when we are creating the component, right? So at that time it runs. So we are creating a component, the constructor will be works, and there is another thing called as connected callback, the second one, so which runs the component is added to the DOM. if the, when you are creating a component, it's going for the constructor. If you are going through you are added for the DOM, what the component you are created, it was added to the DOM, then it will go for the connected callback. It is used to it is used or it is good to fetch the data from the components. And the next one is rendered callback. It runs after the component is rendered in the UA, means it will be rendering in the user interface what was created. And disconnected callbacks runs when the component is removed from the DOM. So that's the main life cycle hooks. I am repeating again, there are four life cycle hooks. The first one is constructor, connected callback, rendered callback, and disconnected. First one will be connected when the component is created, and second one is when it's added for the DOM, and the next one is added if the component is rendered, and the finally if you are removing the component for DOM, then it will be called as connected callback. So why the JS file is more important when compared to XML and all these things? So it controls the behavior and logic of the component, and which manage state and data binding also, and it also handles events and user interference too. Maximum it, yeah, I said previously, it will hold many of the handle events, and it connects with Apex, LDS, and other APIs also. So this is about the JavaScript, and now we go through the HTML. So we already know that HTML is already a single code where we can develop a pages and everything. So which can have the paragraphs, T1 headers, footers, and everything. So coming to HTML, it defines the user interference of the components. So it is defines means like it will shows the user interference and everything. And for the main, it responsible for displaying the data form and handling user interactions like handling the buttons and handling the inputs and etc. And it should be used conditional rendering. Conditional rendering means if it true it will be rendered or else it won't. If it false we can render or else it's. And here we are also having the iterating overlist for each, and it applies the CSS style also. So when coming to here some key features going through the HTML. So we are having the first one is curly braces. So which binds dynamic values from the JS file. And on change, on click, on put, coming to these three, it calls the JavaScript function in response to the user action. And if true, if property, these are conditionally rendering. It shows the content if the property is true or false. That's it. And coming to next one, for each equal to array means for each it should be some limit like looping over arrays to display this, means simply looping the arrays to display the list forms, how much the list we are giving in. And here we have some another more to slot. So coming to slot which allows the content from parent component to be inserted. And the next one is LWC if and LWC else. So these two are, we know that, conditional rendering syntax. So coming to HTML, the main thing is, so it defines the user interface, and which defines binds the data dynamically from JavaScript and handles user interactions like buttons, inputs, and events. And it also supports the loops and conditional rendering, works with the CSS and parent to child components also. So these are the main roles which was playing by the LWC to create a component or to show a component, to hide a component, to see the user interference or these things. So these three, what is this, XML, JS, and HTML, these three files are the main component for the component. Depending on these three we can create a wonders in the LWC for Salesforce. So and also we have discussed the live hooks of Salesforce also, and we have discussed the key tags also. So coming to live hooks, constructor, connected callback, rendered callback, and disconnected callback. So tomorrow we are going to learn about the decorators. So what is at the rate API, and what is at the rate while, and what is at the rate track. So tomorrow we will discuss about all these three things. things. Okay, bye bye.